Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day one roundup of round 9 of the National Horseboarding Championships here at Bowood House. And it's been another great day of racing where the margins for error are just not existent. You can't make an error at this level of horseboarding if you want to win.
I'm laughing, sorry. It's the first time I've seen the results. Wow.
So at the end of day 2, so in the second heat, Despicable Minions actually withdrew there for the second heat. The reason is the board rider Simon Rourke's got a slightly injured shoulder. He's looking for points which will take him up the championship table, and they wanted to make sure they get a time down tomorrow rather than trying to race today, and you know, they're pretty sure that they're not going to be able to take away the 10-second hill that they've got to climb at the end of today. So in 10th place was Despicable Minions.
In 9th place, Russian Roulette with an 81.56.
And it was great to see them race today. I thought they did really well. Obviously we've not seen them all year, and last year they finished the season in 3rd, so you know, they were very happy with that. It's just they've not quite made not been able to help, but thanks, you know, to Anita, who's been helping us all year in the pits and running as the pit manager. In 8th place was Bruises Easily Limited with 81.02.
In 7th place, one of the higher finishing positions for day 1. I think they might be able to climb up to 6th, but it's Consider It Done with a 79.11. They're only 0.63 seconds behind 6th place, which is Limited Edition with a 78.48.
And Limited Edition did some great racing today. Really good racing. Lloyd boarding, you know, he's on the dry ground. He's used to the speed a bit more. I mean, they were clocking 22s. I'm not sure they got a 23, but 22 on the speed trap. So really good for them. And then 5th place was UK Border Force. Now, UK Border Force were in 5th place for the majority of the day, really, and they just didn't seem to be able to get that fast, clean run down. And they struggled quite a lot. Looking at their races here, they got a 74.26 this morning on their first run, and that ended up being their fastest run all the way through until their last run this afternoon. They had 2 runs where they didn't complete, and I'm pretty sure that was because it wasn't because Ollie fell, it's because they withdrew, because they had too many touches. They were really struggling with the weave. Hamilton, we know it's not Hamilton's favourite part of the course. They then got a 76.12, but I think there was a touch on that. Then they got an 86.59, nearly an 87. So, you know, the dropping time, not improving time. But then on their last run, which they clocked 27 miles an hour on, they got 70.92, and that pushed them. They kept them in 5th place, but now only by 0.55 of a second, whereas previously they were several seconds behind. So great to see that. I mean, it's starting to tell a story. It's starting to paint a picture of the championships now when you're looking at these finishing positions.
But in 4th place is Pocket Rocket. Lovely to see them out there again. We missed them for a couple of rounds. New board rider behind there, Aidan Beamish. He's done some immense board. I'm not quite sure about this sitting down, grabbing your board style.
Yeah, I mean, and we haven't seen that sort of boarding style since Sam
Nichols from Tramper.
Since Sam Nichols did it way back in the day, like, I can't really remember how many years ago it was. It was 3-4 years ago.
I did hear a bit of gossip. Ross was talking to me in the pits. Said Ross was trying that out for a new style, way of turning. Aidan copied him and is now telling everyone that he came up with it.
Well, like I say, we saw Sam do it years ago. It didn't always pay off well for him. But, you know, I'm not sure it's the quickest way around the course, because I think by going into that position, you're potentially making yourself a little bit heavier, and you're making yourself into a bit of a ball. Whereas if your rope's very low, whereas if you're kind of well, I suppose if you're kind of standing up but low to the ground, maybe it doesn't make much difference. I don't know. It didn't feel as though it was the quickest way to get around the track, but it got him around the track, and they're actually in 4th place by only 0.02 of a second.
Nothing.
But interestingly enough, they did actually get the fastest run of the day. With a 68.33, I believe, but they had 6-second penalties. So let's just find their thing. Yeah, it was 68.33, but they had 3 2-second penalties, so 6 seconds added onto that, which is a real shame because that would have seen them in first place, and then we wouldn't be discussing whether or not it was the fastest way around the course or not, because he would be the fastest.
But in 3rd place, only by, like we say, 0.02 of a second, is Sudden Impact with a 70.35. So I'm just looking at those 3 ranking positions. You've got 5th place, 70.92. 4th place, 70.37. And then 3rd place, 70.35. It's just unreal. We say it's unreal, but it is very close. It is very close, but it is the kind of thing we've seen these 5 teams do in the last 3 competitions. Do you know what I mean? They have been on the limit of how fast you can get around the course. We saw it again with the split time today: 31, 32, 31, 32, 33 seconds around on the split time. And that's where UK Border Force are struggling, because actually I think UK Border Force, if they'd have gone through the weave as smoothly as the other teams, they'd probably be in first place right now. Yeah.
But they were losing so much time on the weave. Either it was going completely wrong and they were missing it, or they were having to do so much hard work to get through it that actually the fact they're in 5th place is a bit of a wonderment, really.
Yeah.
So Sudden Impact 3rd place, and they are 0.45 of a second behind Chill Winston, and Chill Winston is our first sub 70 second time of 69.9 seconds.
But leading the day, and if everything stays like this, like if Ross doesn't, I'm not even going to say I'm not even going to say anything, but leading the day and looking like they're going to take their 5th national championship in a row is the Dead Pigeons with a 68.97 seconds. They are 0.93 of a second up on Chill Winston.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, looking at the table, so let's have a look at the championship tables, which I notice there's a few issues with. But looking at the tables, I think basically as long as they don't finish 8th now...
no, if they finish 8th and UK win, Dead Pigeon would still win, based on highest ranking positions. If they come 9th, below 8th and UK Border Force win, they can see their championship title gone.
Yeah, but the chances of that, as we all know, are rare, to say the least. So we are looking at the picture that's been painted is that 1st place may, because it's not over yet, may go to the Dead Pigeons, and 2nd place may go to UK Border Force. Yeah. So, and Chill Winston will have made it all the way to 4th at the moment, and Consider It Done will have dropped from 4th, which they've held on to those higher ranking positions with their fingernails all season, but it looks as though they're just going to end up in 5th. And I did think it was quite funny today to see the board rider dress up as a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
It's a weird moment in my life.
Yeah, and if you've ever wanted to see what Jurassic Park would have looked like with more horses in, that was pretty much what we saw, and it was entertaining. So that looks like the picture at the end of day 1 here at Bowood. It's a great day's racing to come tomorrow, whatever happens. But at the end of day 1, it looks as though the 5, we'll be saying this time tomorrow, that
5.
Dead Pigeons are the 5 times national championship winners.
No pressure, Ross.
So, guys, come down Bowood House in Wiltshire and see the last of the 2016 UK competitions that will be run this year.
Winning.